Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with Ralph. Hope you're fine, dear lovely IELTS candidates. Well, today we're going to focus on section 3 and 4 of the listening test in IELTS, and I will teach you some strategies and techniques that can definitely help you answer IELTS listening questions in section 3 and 4. So let's start with section 3. All right, in this section, there's a conversation between maybe 2, 3, up to 4 people, and it is set in an educational or academic context. There are 10 questions total, and these questions are split into 2 parts. And there's also, there are around 20 or 30 seconds of preparation time before listening to each question set. So let's start with taking a look at the questions here. Well, as you can see, there are 2 parts, and in each part here, there are 2 questions. In the preparation time, we take a look at the questions, and we'll see what we are going to do. Well, the first part is, which 2 skills did Laura improve as a result of her work placement? So in this type of question in which we have to find 2 skills or 2 information or maybe 3, we have to choose 2 or 3 letters. These types of questions are a little bit challenging and difficult because one of the most common traps in these parts is the exact language trap. As you remember, we worked on this type of trap in our previous videos. And so you should be very careful of this exact language trap. And the second thing that we have to do is underline or circle keywords in questions. So here, our keywords are skills, Laura improve, result of work placement. So we have to find 2 skills. So what are the answer choices? Communication, design, IT, marketing, and organization. And in the second part, again, we have to find 2 immediate benefits. So our keyword is benefit. Did the company get from Laura's work placement? So this work placement, what benefits did it bring, right? Now let's read answer choices as fast as you can. Updates for its software, cost savings, and improved image, new clients, and growth in sales. So you should be aware of this trap that all these answer choices here are going to be said, and you are going to hear all of them, almost all of them. So beware of this exact language trap in this type of question. So let's start with the 2 skills that Laura improved as a result of her work placement. So I will read the transcript to you, and we'll see where the answer is. All right, so let's start. And remember something, most of the times in this type of question, there is a long delay. I mean, the answer is not at the beginning of the transcript, all right? So you have to listen a little bit and wait for the answer. So Laura starts the conversation and she says, we hired the services of a professional photographer for that. I did have to use my IT skills. So that's it, exact language trap, to a certain extent, because I cut and pasted text from marketing leaflets. Again, marketing is repeated here. It's the exact language. But that didn't involve anything I hadn't done before. So this is modification trap, in which the speaker says something, and then he or she modifies herself or himself, corrects himself. All right, so this here, so IT skills and marketing skills are omitted here. They're excluded here because Laura herself says that didn't involve anything I hadn't done before. Now, wait for the other speaker to see if he or she mentions any of these skills and if Laura agrees to what the other person says. And Tim says, do you think you got any better at managing your time and prioritizing things? You always used to say you had trouble with that. All right, this is one skill, managing your time and prioritizing things. And Laura says, oh, definitely. So when she accepts this part, all right, we know that she agrees to the thing that Tim said. And what was that? Managing your time and prioritizing things. This is the first answer. So what kind of skill is that? So as you can see, here the synonym language is used. So managing your time and prioritizing things means organization. So our first answer is, and first skill is organization. Now let's wait for the other speaker to continue. Oh, definitely. There was so much pressure to meet the project deadline. And I also got better. So she exactly says I got better at what? At explaining things and asserting my opinions. Again, this is synonym language. So explaining things and asserting my opinions means communication. So the correct answer is communication, as you can see here. Now, let's wait for the second part. Now, the second part, what are the two immediate benefits did the company get from Laura's work placement? So Laura starts, she says, oh yes, I worked it out. It would have been 250% more. So this is very important. This is synonym language. And it also uses perfect modals. It means if I hadn't done this, it wouldn't have been like this. All right, so she talks about the benefit. It would have been 250% more. So it is about cost savings, as you can see in part B, answer choice. All right, so B is the correct answer. So let's hear more. And I thought the end result was good, even though we did everything on site. The company has quite a powerful computer, and I managed to borrow some scanning software. Then you can see here it's exact language trap, but it's not the benefit from the university. The new brochure looks really professional. It enhances the image of the company straight away. Straight away is the synonym language for immediate, all right? And it enhances the image of the company. This is the second synonym, let's say, immediate benefit. And it is also a synonym language. C, as you can see, answer choice C is the correct answer, an improved image. And then Tim continues, and he says, so this is a little bit challenging here, because here Tim also talks about the benefits, but there is a little bit of a difference. So in the long run, it should help them to attract clients and improve their sales figures. And Laura says that's the idea, yeah. But it is long run. It is not about immediate benefits, as you can see. So beware of these traps in listening tests, all right? So as you can see, attract clients, new clients, and improve their sales. A growth in sales in the answer choices are exactly the same, but this is not the answer because the question is about immediate benefits, not long-term or long-run benefits. Now, let's jump to our next part, which is section 3 of the listening test. In section 4, In section 4, there's a conversation between up to 40 people. And like section 3, it's set in an educational or academic context. There are 10 questions total, and the questions will not be split into parts. And the recording doesn't stop here, unlike the first 3 sections, so that makes it a little bit challenging for students. And there is around 30 seconds of preparation time before listening to section 4, so you have enough time to cover almost 10 questions here. So let's just start with reading the questions first, because in section 4, almost always the questions you have to fill in the blanks, so you have time and you should guess, you should predict the answers here. And read the question carefully, because you should know if you are going to write 1 word only, or 2 or 3 words. So here you have to write 1 word only. So the first question it's about the spirit bear. So we are going to listen to a scientific research about the spirit bear. And question number 1 is, its color comes from an uncommon something. So we predict that question number 1, the answer is something. And the word before the question is very important. So uncommon, something uncommon. And beware that the word uncommon is not used. Actually, the synonym word for uncommon is used. And then question number 4 is about local people believe that it has unusual, then again, it should be something here, or maybe a trait or feature, a quality of something, okay? And question number 3, they protect the bear from what? Maybe someone or something. So question number 3 is protecting the bear from something, or maybe from someone. Then question number 4, tree roots stop along salmon streams. This connecting word along is very important. And also the word stop something. So these tree roots stop something, and that something is along salmon streams. And question number 4, it is currently found on a small number of. So maybe we should write about some place here, and we are pretty sure that the answer here is plural because of the phrase small number of. So let's just start reading the transcript. And our question number 1 is, its color comes from an uncommon something. Today, we continue our series on ecology and conservation with a look at a particularly endangered member of the black bear family. 1 in 10 black bears is actually born with a white coat, so we hear something about color, white color, which is the result of a special gene that surfaces in a few. So, here is the answer. But we should be aware of what. So, which is the result of is the synonym word for comes from, and special is the synonym of uncommon. So, the correct answer is gene here. All right, so be careful of the synonym language here. And question number 2, local people believe that it has unusual what? We should write something about unusual. That surfaces in a few. Local people, exactly after question number 1, there's question number 2 here. The answer is right here in this sentence. Local people have named it the spirit bear, and according to the legends of these communities. So, when it says legends of these communities, it means that it is talking about local people's beliefs. Its snowy fair brings with it a special power. Special means unusual. And unusual what? Unusual power. So question number 2, the answer is power. Because of this, it has always been highly regarded by them, so much that they do not speak of seeing it to anyone else. It is their way of protecting it when strangers visit the area. So we hear the word protect. Protect what? When strangers, because we predicted that in question number 3, the answer is something like maybe animals or people or someone. So we know that the answer here is strangers. Now let's jump to question number 4. The white bear's habitat is quite interesting. The bird's strong relationship with the old-growth rainforest is a complex one. The white bear relies on the huge centuries-old trees in the forest in many ways. For example, the old-growth trees, so we hear the word tree. So we should wait for the word roots, because roots is a specific word. It rarely has synonyms, so we should wait for the word roots, and then we should wait for the answer, all right? Have extremely long roots that help prevent erosion of the soil along the banks of the many fish streams. So here, we hear the word fish, which is the synonym for salmon. All right? And also the roots that help prevent. Prevent is the synonym word for stop. And for question number 4, before the question, before the blank, there is a word stop. So stops what? Erosion. The correct answer is erosion. And now let's continue to find the answer for question number 5. Keeping these banks intact is important because these streams are home to salmon, which are the bear's main food source. In return, the bear's feeding habits nurture the forest. As the bears eat the salmon, they discard the skin and bones in great amounts on the forest floor, which provide vital nutrients. These produce lush vegetation that sustains thousands of other types of life forms, from birds to insects and more. Today, so when we hear the word today, it means that it is talking about right now, which is the synonym word for currently found. So currently means today. The spirit bear lives off the coast of the province of British Columbia on a few islands. Few is the synonym word for small number of. And what is the word? Islands. The correct answer for question number 5 is islands. All right, guys, that's all for today. And we worked on strategies to answer part 3 and part 4 of the IELTS listening test. And we are done with the IELTS listening test. I've tried to teach as many strategies and techniques and traps in the listening test. Now, it's from now on, it's your duty to listen to as many podcasts as possible in order to make your ears accustomed to the accent, British accent, and also learning those traps and techniques. So the best way to improve your listening skill is just listening to audio files. This is the best way. Hope you have enjoyed this part and it's been really helpful to you. Until next time, enjoy your time, stay tuned, and bye-bye.